Hi everybody, Jo here again. Thanks so much for popping in. As always, lovely to spend time with you. Now, I must admit, I'm so thrilled with when I did the video the other week on kiss stamping. I got so many lovely messages just saying how wonderful it was. And it's an old technique, but how many of you hadn't heard of it? And those of you that had, it was so long ago, you really enjoyed the little refresher. So I thought I'd come along with another stamping technique. Again, it's an old one. It's nothing, these things do go round. And I can't credit anybody because it's been around for years, so I've no idea who first did it. And this is ghost stamping. Now, we've done something similar with stencils. And if you've not done it before, I think you're going to love it. If you have, maybe you'd forgotten about it. But again, it's one of those things. And you know what? If Mr. Mojo's gone on holiday, it'll entice him back because it is such fun. And I know you're really going to enjoy looking through all your stamps. We've got so many stamps that are going to be great for this. And I've come up with a little design because I know you like to know how to use the technique in a finished card design. So the ghost stamping is the stamping in white behind. And basically, we're just going to stamp with water and faux bleach the card. So as you can see, so easy. Don't need a lot of products, so it's ideal for any of our lovely new followers. Now, I'm going to show you this card, but I've done a couple of, I had a really good play, and I thought you'd like to see the play session. Now, it does take a while getting used to it, so this was my first. Was it this one? No, this was it. This was my first one. So this is Scorched Timber, and it's a lovely way of using some of your offcuts. And what I found is the way I was originally taught to do this was put water on my mat and put my stamp in the water. But I found I got too much water and I lost the edging of the stamp. So I decided I would spray it and see if there was a difference. So that's the first thing to say. But however works for you, that obviously is what you do. But I mean, this isn't lost because what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp on top of that and still use it. But I thought it was important to show you. So I had to go again, and this time I sprayed my stamp. And as I say, I will do this live. I just wanted to show you this. And I got a much better image. Can you see? Obviously, there's too much water on this one. And this, I'm getting a clear image, a real ghosting image, look. And again, for me, I could add maybe a bit of stamping on top of this, but actually I love the detail in that on its own. And again, look through your different stamps. So that was the wildflower stamp, sorry. And this one, I've used the Buttercup stamp, and I really loved this. Look at that. So again, it's a great way of, if you want to practice your blending and then maybe do some ghost stamping on top of it. They make fabulous toppers. And this one is your Scorched Timber, but I put a little bit of twisted citron just in the background, just for that bit of, I love that. And I did a larger piece, and this is with the forest leaf stamp, same technique, but this time I put Salvaged Patina ink in the middle, then the twisted citron, then I blended my Scorched Timber, and look at that. Now, the camera might have difficulty picking it up, but look at that detail that comes through. Now, again, you could go on, you could pop some colour back on if you wanted. I just love it as it is. I think it is so unusual. And I've just added some water splats round. But I think even just I'll probably put a string little bow there, and that I'll put straight on, probably a craft card. I love that. So, as I say, for me, lots of different inks. It's a great way of using your toppers, your offcuts. So, the one we're going to do, this is 4 inches by 3 inches. Again, it's Multifarious card, and it's just a piece I had left. And I'm going to start with Rustic Wilderness, and this is in the Oxides. And I've got a blending sponge. For me, I just use a blending sponge for this because I want to get a lot of ink on the card straight away. What I was going to say then, again, my brain's in one of those, when it's working faster than I can talk. I need to slow down. It's just I'm so excited to show you this. When I want a lot of ink quickly on a card, I use my lovely Lavinia blending sponges. When I'm building up the ink in a more almost controlled and slower fashion, that's when I use my brushes. But again, for me, it's just, you know, we have all these different tools and they have different uses. So I'm happy with that. And what I'm going to do is, just want to add a little bit more in the middle there. I'm going to come in with my circle mask and we'll add the idea of the moon over here, I think. And I'm just going to use the same colour and just come round just to darken. So before it gets too dark, look. Again, very easy to do. Take that away. There we go, tone on tone. Give that a quick wipe. And pop that away. So what I'm thinking at the base is I'm just going to add a little bit of the scorched timber. Just for a bit of shade at the base. And I just like to hold this. I don't want to get too much ink on my hands. As you can see, I have got a bit already. But just to minimise it. So just for extra interest, some scorched timber. Pop those over there. So that's, you've got that lovely blended. I mean, I think that is a fabulous background in itself. Now, spare card, you could make yourself a nice smooshed background, but we'll just clean it up for today. And now we're ready to do that lovely ghost stamping. And I think we'll come in with the orchard grass for this. And I've got my Lavinia water spritzer bottle, look. And I'm just going to, just over Eric, spritz it twice. Once there, once there. Now, you can see the amount on my lovely acrylic block. Just going to dry that a bit. And then I'm just going to come in and pop one there. And press it down. And I found I count to 10. But again, you'll probably have a different method and a different way. It's that thing of holding it down long enough. Now, can you see that water has started to faux bleach that already? And you can judge by this. I think I've possibly got a wee bit too much water there. Now, I wipe it after each one because obviously I've lifted a bit of ink on there. And then we'll have a go again. Right, so this one we'll just put in one spritz. And I'll pop that there. You can try maybe holding it longer, holding it less. I'm thinking that was about 10. Now, you can have a go at getting second generation. For me, I didn't find it very successful. And I found I like to wipe the stamp just on my inky binky because I have lifted a bit of that ink. But we'll have a go here, let's see, just to show you. Yes, you see, we did get a little bit of second generation, but not very much really, not enough. I think I need to just go again over there. So this one, I'm just going to give one spritz. I'm not going to put it on top of it. I'll put it next to it because it may... You see, the other thing is, as it dries, it will almost get whiter, get clearer, as we know with our faux bleaching. Right, I'm going to stop there. So we'll give that a wipe. And I would always recommend letting it air dry. But obviously for time, I'm going to come in with my heat it tool and just give it a bit of a dry. But like I say, have a look at all your stamps. It works with fine line stamps, it works with silhouette stamps, and it's just about judging that right amount of water, time, pressure. And that's why it's great to start on your little scraps of card. But as you can see, look at that, how that's dried. So that's the one with the second generation. And it has actually shown through. I didn't think it would. Now again, it might be you could add some white embossing on top of this. It gives you so many options. It's just a great starting point for a background. So I'm thinking I'm going to come in with the lovely Buttercups. I love this stamp. And I'm going to use first Spruce. And this is one of the new Versafine Clairs. And it's a real dark green. And what I did on my original, I'm going to stamp it twice. So once either side. I almost want to use, because we've got greens and browns, they're the tones I want to sort of follow in for the whole design. Just so we get that lovely cohesive design. So we'll come in either side with the green look. Give it a wipe just with a wet cloth and then dry it with my Inky Binky, just because I don't want to transfer that ink. So that was Spruce, and I'm going to come in with Pinecone, a good old favourite. And I'm just going to stamp that in the middle, sort of as my focal point, because I've got the brown at the bottom. And this stamp complements that ghosting underneath, because I don't want to stamp on top of it and lose it. Look, I want to be able to see it through, and it gives me a little bit of perspective and dimension. And look, especially with even the Buttercups where they overlap, you can still see them through. And I think, again, I know a lot of you make cards for charity, so you could... Oh, sorry, I knocked the lamp. I told you I'm a bit overexcitable today. I obviously had too many annoying numbers in my breakfast. So if you're making these for charity, you could batch card make these, and you could make, you know, one after another. Maybe alter the colour of the ink you use in the background. Alter the choice of stamps. But for me, I mean, add some water, faux bleach in there. And dare I say, I'm thinking, could we get a Christmas design out of this? Could we use our ghosting in the background? Christmas with Christmas stamps. You see, I'm going to have a go at that. I love the way that while we're crafting, all these other ideas come up. So I'm just going to grab my lovely pastel pencils here, which seem to have moved. And I'm just going to get the white. And I'm just going to add a little bit, just some odd highlights. Again, I don't want to overcook it. And then just, I'm not going to overthink this. Just a couple of sort of arty little, another one there. There we go. Stop. Put that back in the tin. And then a little bit of Wink of Stella. Just round the moon there. Just to almost give a sparkly haze. Just to emphasise. And again, that'll almost faux bleach it anyway. And then, as I say, you could add water to faux bleach the sky, but I'm going to come in with my, you know, I love this yellow, sparkly, glittery Posca. And I'm going to add that at the top in the sky. So they can be stars or fairy orbs. But I think I want to bring in that yellow just in the sky on top of that green. And then at the base, I'm going to go for white. Got my white Posca, and that's why I've added the white pastel pencil. So I'm going to come in with some lovely white splats at the base here, and that'll show up lovely on that brown ink. And I don't want to overcook it. And we'll give that a wipe. I'm really hoping you have a go at this. And as I say, I've hardly touched the surface of my stamps that I could use. And look at that. Such a lovely, quick, unique background. Now, if you wanted, you could come in with your white gel pen. You could highlight. You could add more bits. And when it's on a piece of white card, look, or on a white card blank. So that's your ghost stamping. And I'll just bring in one of the ones I did with that's just the Scorched Timber on its own. And obviously that's the one with the 3 colours and the beautiful forest leaf stamp. So I'm sure you've got plenty to be going up there. So check your stamps out, get your offcuts. Great way to practice your blending. And I'd love to see what you come up with. You know what? I've got a feeling you're going to use stamps that I didn't even think about using. Can't wait to see. Please share them with each other and me. Right, I'm off now. I think I might just go and have a decaf tea. I think I'm that way out. You take care. Thanks always for all your friendship and your support. Have a good week. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.